Chris Harris shares how traumatic Freddie Flintoff's Top Gear car crash was. Top Gear has always been known for its crazy and dramatic challenges. High-speed driving, dangerous stunts, and seemingly impossible competitions are always attractive to viewers. But sometimes, while we enjoy the drama, real dangers lurk behind the scenes, just waiting to change everything forever. For Chris Harris, one of the veteran faces of Top Gear, participating in these challenges is an indispensable part of the job. As a skilled driver and a professional motoring journalist, Harris always felt ready to face any situation. However, no one could have prepared for what happened on that fateful day in December 2022. Freddie Flintoff, a famous former cricketer and one of the new faces appearing on Top Gear, has always been loved for his cheerful personality and sense of humor. He quickly became an integral part of the presenting team, alongside Chris Harris and Paddy McGuinness. During his time on Top Gear, Freddie shared many memorable moments with Harris. They were not only colleagues but also close friends. Despite their differences in expertise, the combination of Harris, Freddie and Paddy created a very compatible team. However, during a filming session at the Top Gear racetrack, everything changed when an unexpected accident occurred. That day, Freddie Flintoff was assigned to test a new sports car on a special track. It was a common challenge for Top Gear drivers, where they had to race and perform dangerous driving tricks. But what no one expected was that Freddie encountered a dangerous situation right in the middle of the race. In a tight corner at high speed, Freddie's car lost control and crashed into the guardrail with great force. The sound of the crash sent shockwaves through everyone present. Chris Harris, who was nearby, rushed over immediately. His heart skipped a beat when he saw Freddie trapped in the mangled car. Although the car was equipped with a full range of safety systems, the force of the impact had left Freddie severely injured. As the rescue team quickly arrived and removed Freddie from the car, Chris Harris could not hide his worry and grief. He was the first to reach Freddie, trying to reassure his friend, but could not hide the tension in his eyes. At that moment, I couldn't think of anything other than whether Freddie was okay, Harris shared after the accident. It was a horrible scene. I've seen a lot of accidents in my career, but when it was my friend, it was completely different. We'd been through a lot together, and at that moment, I just hoped he would pull through. Freddie Flintoff was rushed to hospital and fortunately escaped serious injury, although he suffered several broken bones and some serious injuries. The accident forced him to take a long break from the show to recover. Chris Harris, despite being a longtime friend of Freddie's, also found it difficult to continue working. You can't imagine what it's like to see a close friend get hurt. I don't know what it would be like to lose Freddie. It was a moment I never want to go through again. Despite the stressful and worrying moments, Chris Harris and Freddie Flintoff's friendship was unshaken. After his recovery, Freddie returned to Top Gear, and the team went on to new adventures. Freddie wasn't just a colleague, he was a friend I trusted, Harris said. We've been through it together, and we're there for each other, no matter what. The accident left a big lesson for all the Top Gear crew, especially about safety. Although the challenges on the show are always dramatic and risky, everyone realized that protecting the health and lives of the crew members is the most important thing. Chris Harris shared, "We realized that even though we can do everything we want on screen, real life is still the most important thing. This accident made me more aware of the fragility of life, and I hope I never have to witness something like this again." After the accident, Freddie Flintoff had a long recovery period. Although his injuries were not too serious, the psychological and physical shocks from the accident left him facing an uphill battle. The injury to his leg left him unable to walk for a long time, which was a huge challenge for a man like Freddie, who loved to be active and challenge himself. Chris Harris, throughout this time, was always by Freddie's side. Harris was not only a colleague but also a close friend, always ready to listen and support. He knew that returning to work, especially on a show like Top Gear, would not be easy for Freddie. It was not just a physical shock, but also a mental shock, Harris shared. Freddie was always an optimist, but when you're faced with something like this, you can't just act like everything is normal. It affects your mentality, your outlook on life. During this time, Harris became an indispensable friend in Freddie's recovery process. They worked together on rehabilitation, one small step at a time. Harris always joked to cheer Freddie up, and despite being a strong and tough man, he couldn't hide his worry whenever he saw Freddie struggling. As Freddie slowly regained his health, his conversations with Chris Harris deepened. They had unprecedented conversations about life, about what they had been through, and about the future of Top Gear. "How many challenges have we been through, Chris?" Freddie said, sitting in a chair in the rehabilitation room, looking out the window. "It's only when I'm faced with an incident like this that I really think about what's important. Before, I was just thinking about speed, about drama. But now, I realize that life is the most precious thing. Without health, nothing matters." Chris Harris sat opposite, nodding. "Yes, Freddie. I thought the same thing after the accident. It's not that we don't like challenges, but putting safety first is the most important thing. We can do everything on the show, but without health and safety, it's all for nothing." It was one of those moments when both men realized that they couldn't go on with their lives as before. They became real friends, understanding more than ever the value of career, friendship and health. When Freddie Flintoff was fully recovered and ready to return to Top Gear, the whole team had serious discussions about the upcoming challenges. They knew that they couldn't continue with the same dangerous challenges as before, because it was not only dangerous but also not really in line with the spirit of the show after the accident. Chris Harris shared, "We had long discussions about the future of Top Gear. We couldn't continue with the same kind of stunts without thinking about safety. Freddie was very lucky to survive this accident, but not everyone is so lucky." Freddie agreed with Chris, and together, they decided to change some elements of the show. The stunts would continue, but they would be carried out under closer supervision, with safety measures in place. The accident not only changed the way Top Gear operated, but also the way the cast members viewed each other. Chris Harris and Freddie Flintoff became closer than ever. After the tense and painful moments, they understood that friendship is really the most important thing in any situation. "We can't change the past, but we can learn from it," Freddie said, in an interview after returning to the show. "The accident was a shock, but I feel like I learned a lot from it. I am no longer the tough guy who takes risks. I understand that life is short, and I need to cherish every moment."